If you've seen my previous videos, you will know that all of my recent work on combat achievements is to make it easier for me to get my hands on some sweet Barrows gear. But what even is Barrows gear? And why is it so useful that nearly everyone goes for it at some point? Well, I actually didn't know what made it so good. I just knew that it was good and I needed it. So let's have a good look at the Barrows Brothers and find out who they are and why I want their stuff so badly. I hope you enjoy this video that is quite different to my others so far, but rest assured, next Friday will be a regular Chompy Quest video and it will have a lot of chaos and PVM. Let's start with the lore. This crumbling tome found in the hut by the Barrows gives us some insight into the brothers' legend, so get comfy and settle in. It is said that during the Great God Wars, there were 6 brothers who fought side by side against the forces of evil. Their fervour in battle was awed and feared by all who saw them. Nothing is known of their origins, only that they were first seen when the legions of evil were pressing their hardest into civilized lands. It was the eldest who struck the first blow in that battle, hurling powerful battle magic into the enemy ranks, opening a hole for 4 of the other brothers to charge through and into the heart of their forces. Little was seen or known of the 6th brother at that time, only that when one of the other brothers faced danger, his foe would be felled by a shower of crossbow bolts. It wasn't until the dust had settled that those left could look on their saviours, the 6 brothers who stood proud with the bodies of the fallen at their feet. For years, these brothers fought hard against the enemy, throwing themselves into battle with little regard for their own safety and relying only on each other for aid. Soldiers told stories around campfires of the feats they'd witnessed. The brothers became legend long before the end, but it soon became clear that they were not alone. Some say he'd always been there, but no one truly knows for sure. First tale of him was after an incursion deep into the dark lands, where once again the brothers proved their worth. It was after the battle that a bent and robed figure was seen amongst the bodies of the dead. Most took him for a scavenger, but he moved towards the campfire of the brothers with such directness that some at first thought him another companion. The brothers, however, reacted with suspicion at his approach, drawing their weapons and rising from their places. The stranger merely stood before them, as though sizing them up, before turning and walking back into the mists. Some say that it was the first time they'd ever seen the brothers on shore. As the campaign moved deeper into the dark lands, the stranger appeared with greater frequency, often appearing on a rise near a battle and watching over it. The most disturbing thing was how his presence started to affect the brothers. They became distracted, and on occasion even received injuries that required attention. It was deep in the heart of the enemy's territory, in the failing light of dusk, that the enemy struck back. Great monstrosities swept through the camp, tearing at all in their path. Soldiers scattered like chaff in the wind before the onslaught. The brothers, valiant as ever, stood back to back before the enemy and fought with all their might. As dawn broke, the enemy fled the battle, moving faster than any man could give chase. It was as the soldiers went about rebuilding the camp that the brothers collapsed at their campfire. They lay as though dead, yet breathing, muttering in strange tongues. Their injuries were found swollen and infected. None of the physicians knew what to do, for it was like no infection they had ever seen before. All through the day, the brothers were tended and cared for, while the soldiers waited nervously for their heroes to rise once again. It was then, just as the sun's last rays vanished behind the horizon, that all hope was lost. As if on cue, all 6 brothers sighed their last breath. It was only then that the sentries noticed the stranger once again, standing upon a rise just outside the camp. That night, the camp was surrounded by the great beasts of the enemy once again, but they didn't attack. Instead, they merely baited the soldiers to come out and meet them. Once again, at the break of dawn, the enemy fled without a trace, leaving the soldiers tired from a restless night of worry and fear. That day, the commanders decided to turn back. They could advance no further without the brothers' aid. As was the custom at the time, out of honour and respect for the mighty plenty fallen, they constructed 6 great barrows for the brothers, a crypt for each brother covered in a small hill of earth that would hold their remains undisturbed by predators. The work took many days, for each night the enemy returned. The soldiers had to flee back inside their camp and wait away the night to the sounds of howling and scratching at the fences. However, each day they resumed their work with their sense of duty to the brothers, surmounting the fear of the dark forces in the land. On the last day, the assembled troops buried the brothers inside their stone tombs. Then, with great reverence but little ceremony, they covered the tombs with earth. As the army broke camp and turned to march back to their lands, the stranger was seen once again, standing atop the central barrow, standing tall against the failing light with his arms outstretched to the sky. Not many of the original army made it back to these lands, for many more had perished on the journey home, but tales were told of how each night an unnatural glow could be seen on the horizon where they had buried the brothers. Even today, there are stories told about those mounds of earth and the sights and sounds that have been witnessed nearby. We do have more lore on the brothers, but I'm not here to spoil what many consider one of, if not the most interesting quest stories, so this is all you're getting in this video. The brothers made a deal with a powerful stranger, offering their servitude for the power to fight evil. This stranger is who gave them their equipment that we want to take for ourselves. So, speaking of which, before I tell you about all the stats of the Barrows Brothers equipment, I think it's important to quickly go over what I currently have. This is my rune setup. We're going to ignore the attack bonus because obviously when I talk about the Barrows sets, I am including their weapons because their weapons do count as part of the set that gives you the effect. So we're focusing on the defense bonuses here. So my best in slot rune melee has a defense bonus against stab for 186, slash is 178, crush is 173, magic is +9, and my ranged is +177. So that is my rune melee gear. Now, this is my void melee gear. You will notice that the numbers for my defense bonus are significantly lower than with my rune, but there are many reasons why void sometimes is better. So my stab is 97, slash is 95, crush is 95, magic is 95, and range is 93. Void is important because it is an all-rounder gear and it helps with gear swaps. If I'm swapping between all 3 different combat styles, I can just change my hat. Now, you'll notice that my ranged is not that much different from my melee defensive-wise, and the same with my mage setup. Now, the main thing with Void, why you'd want to use it over other things, is because when you are wearing the melee helm, you get a 10% buff to your melee damage and accuracy. If you have the ranger hat on, you have a 10% damage and accuracy buff to your ranged, and if you have the mage helm on, you have a 45% buff to your magic accuracy. So let's have a look at how the brothers gear can improve this a bit. According to the GE prices right now, Darox and Arims are the most popular sets of Barrows gear, so let's start off with those. If you've seen any Barrows set in-game, it's probably Darox. His set effect is Wretched Strength, causing you to do more damage as your health lowers. We've all seen the players eating rock cakes down to 1 HP and then running off with overheads and a max hit that's reached the stratosphere. At 1 HP, you can hit up to 98% more damage if your max HP is 99. Wearing an Amulet of the Damned also gives the set a 25% chance to recoil 15% of the damage you receive back on your attacker. Arim's set effect is called Blighted Aura, giving your magic attacks a 25% chance of reducing your enemy's strength by 5. Wearing an Amulet of the Damned with full Arims lets you auto-cast ancient magics with his staff and gives a 25% chance of offensive spells to do 30% extra damage. The set also has some defensive stats against melee, and according to the wiki, this seems to be why you're most likely to see this set from the inside of an ice cube as you're getting PK'd. Carol's is the 3rd most expensive on the GE right now. The standard set effect on this one would be useless to me, as Tainted Shot has a 25% chance of lowering the target's agility by 20%. Very niche, and only works in PvP, and that is what makes it useless. But with the Amulet of the Damned, you get a 25% chance of hitting twice with one attack, with your second hit doing half the damage of the first. The remaining 3 brothers have gear that is less popular, but still very useful, especially for me whose current best in slot is either Rune or Basic Void, so any of the gear will be very helpful for me. Guffin's set bonus of Infestation gives a 25% chance for an attack to heal you for the amount of damage you just dealt. With the Amulet of the Damned, this can heal you up to 10 points over your max HP. Verak's set has Defiler as its effect, giving attacks a 25% chance of being a guaranteed hit. This is very helpful for fighting things with high defense. The amulet adds an extra +7 prayer bonus, making the full set with the amulet have a prayer bonus of 28 in total. Torag has Corruption, another PvP effect with a 25% chance to drain 20% of the target's run energy. The Amulet of the Damned adds a 1% defense buff for each 1% of health you lose. Torag's and Carol's set effects only trigger in PvP. However, the bonus effects given by the Amulet of the Damned do work outside of PvP, so they aren't completely useless to me. As an Iron Man, PKing is not something that I have any reason to ever do, and as a discoordinated mess that gets stressed when she enters the wilderness, PKing is not something that I ever have any reason to do. The caveat to the gear and the amulet is that they degrade with use. You can pay to have the Barrows gear repaired or do it yourself for cheaper on an armor stand in a player-owned home, but the amulet will turn to dust if it runs out of charges. Thankfully, you just go get more amulets. Having heard about how useful this Amulet of the Damned can be with these sets, you might be surprised that they're very easy to get, and I already have multiple. These amulets come from the Shades of Morton minigame, and I happen to really enjoy it. I've spent a bit of time here, not grinding for anything in particular, but just because I like looting the chests and killing the shades. Okay, I'm in the farming guild because I've just been doing some farming, and I'm going to use the minigame teleport because they've just updated this, which is pretty sick. I like it. Shades of Morton. And we're off. To use this minigame teleport, you have to complete the Shades of Morton quest, and then you can use the minigame telly whenever you want. So this is Morton. Lovely place, as you can see. Over there is Rot. You want to do the Maya key quests until you can get into Rot and get the bank there before you start doing this, because I can't imagine trying to do this without that bank. So what you do is you go to the general store. He has just random bits of crap. Now, how am I going to say this word? Flamtiar hammer? We're going to go with Flamtiar. You buy loads of olive oil off of him. Oh, I didn't tell you the most important thing. The Flamtiar hammer is really good. It speeds up the building of this lovely place over here that we will be going to, and that is quite important. You don't need it if you're doing it on a mass world, which we are going to move to, but I like to have it anyway, just because, you know, I got the damn thing. It costs like 13k, may as well use it. I have this bag, which I believe I got from the catacombs, which is good. So I asked this guy to open the building store. Now, I don't need any of this because my Flamtiar bag is full of stuff. You want limestone bricks, you want timber beams, and you want swamp paste. And then you put it in your Flamtiar bag and you check it, and you have all of this. Now, when you do it on a mass world, you don't need to bring the stuff. So if you don't have all this stuff, it's fine. Just bring your hammer, your olive oil. Someone needs a tinderbox, and I always forget that someone needs a tinderbox, but it's okay because someone else will have one, and that means it's not my problem. So what we try and do is rebuild this temple here, and then when this place in the middle is fully built, you can sanctify this olive oil into sacred oil and burn the remains you get from these. So you kill these guys as well. I thought I'd show them off. They like to break your auto-retaliate a lot, so you do have to click them a few times. They're quite annoying. As a ghost, they do have a weakness to air spells, so that's good. Take the remains, I shouldn't have done that, actually, because that is now clogging up my box, and I am not going to be burning those pieces of shit. I am going to do a world hop. I have it favorited because I'm a freak that enjoys this minigame. And here we are. Now, I'm going to come in and reinforce this wall. So, as you can see, lots of people are here. As you can see, the resources, 104%. And if any are needed, it will start taking from my bag, as well as anyone else who has a bag or resources. I'm going to move here so that it's easier for me to use this. Now, what we want to do is we want to just keep fixing stuff or killing things until this sanctity hits 10. So it's hit 10, and if I use the altar, I now have a sacred oil. And it's reduced the sanctity. What we want to do in this part of the minigame is literally just rebuild, get as many of these olive oils sanctified as possible, and then we run back to the bank. And it is that simple for this first part. So you just chill here. No! Someone else like this. Thank you, good sir. I am aware that the Perilous Moons gear is very similar to Barrows gear. I think people have been saying that you can skip Barrows and just do moons, but I've also been told that Barrows gear is what lets you do moons. So I actually plan to do Barrows, and then once I have the gear I need, I'm going to go do moons straight away. Now this is why you need to do the Mayaki questline. I believe it's in aid of the Mayaki. Yeah, it's in aid of the Mayaki. It lets you go in here. Haha, sorry bro. That's probably a bot. Do that. Yeah, the higher rank of shade you want to burn, you have to use a higher rank of wood. So I'm going for the second highest rank of shade, which means I need magic logs to burn them. Magic logs take 4 doses of sacred oil, whereas if I was using normal wood logs or oak, it would take 1 or 2 doses. I'm going to put these in my chest. Right, all of them are going in so that I can carry enough stuff. I need a tinderbox. And I get my pyre logs, but I only need 14 of them, because I only had 14 of the remains. Right, so first we're going to go get the keys. While I run over, I am now going to empty my coffin. Put your pyre log. You put your remain, you light his ass. Beautiful. Oh, gold key. Now that is nice. Woo! We got some loot. Oh my gosh. This is the 4th person that sent me a message, and it is really sweet every time. The first person's name was Syrup, which was a very fitting name for them to have because it was really sweet of them to message me. I need to say thank you. Hang on 1 second. That's the 4th person that sent me a PM in game, and it makes me happy every time it happens. It's so sweet. Like, I just think it's lovely. Important note, to get this coffin, you got to talk to this dampy guy. Who, the first time I was doing this, I didn't talk to him because I just saw his name and thought it was a Zelda joke. And so I assumed nothing would come of it. Okay, if you get the ones from the other place, you'll be stuck in this bit. These guys will come get you. Oh yeah, I never explained. The bleached bones, if you use them on that altar, it restores your prayer. Where am I going? Silver, yes. Actually, no. Let's open the gold keys first. Let's do our gold ones first. What in the... Oh, that's my Barrows I have a Barrows plugin? Well, I don't want that lit up like a Christmas tree. Shitloads of swamp paste, of course. What a... Oh! Dragonstone, very nice. I have a couple of them. I can't deal with you right now, gold guy. I always have this issue where I run out of inventory. So I'm just going to kill some of these guys. They'll automatically go into my coffin, so they won't take up space. And they will hurt me. And therefore, I can eat some of these lobsters that I always bring and never remember that I shouldn't. Have necklaces always been visible through the back of us? Or was that like a new thing? Because I only noticed it when sailing came out. Take the remains. They'll go into my coffin. Oh. Yeah, it's turned my auto-retaliate off, see? I really wish these didn't do that. They're very annoying. You have to, like, focus on them. Brown keys are over here. Okay, good. Good. Right, open this twice. Undead Zealot. We get the bleached bones from them. Yeah, die. Oh, what a good death animation. Right, I get the bones from them. Lovely. Another big hammer. The good news is that these high out for a decent amount as an Iron Man. See? High out, 6k. Pretty sick. Now, to get back through that door, I am going to need this key, which is why I didn't use it. So, we can make an offering. Filling, yes, and it does refill all of them. Brilliant. I've never used that before. There we go. Yes, that is what I took your time for, my friends. As you were. Jagex need to fix this shitty ass gate. It drives me insane. I don't know how they could fix it. That ain't my job. Come back to get more pylogs. Look at this just gang of shades waiting to destroy this dude. Literally just... Oh, sorry. This lady. Oh. Okay, now that we've helped a random person, let's go do this. So, yeah. I think that's pretty much everything that I needed to say about Shades of Morton. The best way to do Barrows is currently maging them all with air spells, due to them receiving a 50% air weakness in the magic rebalance in 2024. I would like to be able to teleport to my player-owned home, recharge at the altar, and then use a portal to go straight to the Barrows mounds, but I like the magic level to create the portal. So right now, my best route is to leave via the Ardy Cloak, recharge my prayer at the monastery, and then use this fairy ring to go to the swamp before running to the Barrows. This is longer, but it's my best route until I get my magic up a bit more. I also would like a rejuvenation pool to restore my special attack and run energy alongside my prayer, but I lack the construction skill to make that. And I could make a worse version, but I can't be arsed. I hope that you were able to learn something about the Barrows Brothers today, and particularly why I am so determined to get my hands on some of their equipment. If you already knew everything about the Barrows Brothers, which, to be fair, they were released in 2005, so I wouldn't be shocked, then I hope you just enjoyed listening to me while getting on with your grind in the foreground. Thank you very much for listening, and I cannot wait to share with you my crazy adventures next time in the Theatre of Blood.